Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for our final match of the night. In the semifinals, in the Prospect League, we've got the number 6 Vipers going up against the number 7 Minotaurs. This is for the season. This is gonna end the season. Excuse me, got a little bug there. In the season of the losing team. The winning team, however, secures their spot in the grand finals to go up against the number 1 Melons. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth, ready to bring this Viper Minotaur action straight to you, and I am joined by the legendary Moves Like Jaegers. What's up, my man?
Let me tell you, I'm doing a lot better after that introduction, Psycho. Past few times we casted together, we didn't exactly get a series, couple of forfeits. Hopefully, it's looking like we're gonna get one here, and it's looking like a good one. 6 versus 7 seed in the semifinals. That's that should be a banger right there. I see this one going all the way to Game 7. I know Austin's trying to go to bed. But honestly, for the content, who cares? You know, like Vipers versus Minotaurs. And Vipers, one of those teams that's been around for a while, always make deep runs in the playoffs. And Minotaurs, if I'm not mistaken, it's their first season. And I mean, already like a potential grand finals berth. That's a way to kick off a franchise.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think that is a couple of things have come down for the Minotaurs. But you know what? Let's just get into this action real quick. I think we got everybody here on the field. We're running a little bit behind just in case this is a game number 7. Before we talk too much about these teams, Jaegers, let me hear from you. What's your prediction? I already kind of know what it is, but let's let the crowd hear it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Minotaurs don't have wheels, but I still got them taking this to Game 7. I know Vipers are a very good roster. They got Pugs, Lauren, dissensions, but I mean, I think that rogue buff is too much, and I just see them taking it home here.
That might be true, and I'm going to be on the other side there, Jaegers. I'm going to call Vipers in 7. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't got your channel points in on predictions, go ahead and get them in real quick. I think you might have just a little bit of time left. Me and Jaegers put down 20K apiece on our respective teams, so let's make them numbers go higher. Let's make that pot bigger for the winning team. And Pugs coming in trying to get the first goal, not going to be able to get it through the Minotaurs defense though. And Jaegers, you know, the Vipers, as you mentioned, they've been had a couple of playoff runs, had a couple of good playoff runs in season 2. Whenever I was on their team, we actually made it into the grand finals against none other than the Melons, who ended up beating us, I believe, 4-1 if memory serves correct. But I think the Vipers, they want to get back to that now, especially now that the Melons are in grand finals. That would be the season 2 return of the grand finals in Prospect League.
Absolutely, it would be a very good matchup, especially a storied one. And I mean, I know the Origin boys are rooting for the whichever team wins out of this one, because they want to be tied in grand finals victories. Although one was redacted, you know, we're not going to talk about it.
No, because, we don't talk about
that. A dub's a dub.
Dub's a dub, yeah. We don't talk about that right here. What we do talk about, though, is how we're 3 minutes and 20 seconds into this game, and neither of these teams has scored so far. Been a bit of back and forth in the midfield. We'll see what is going to transpire as Dissension is going to try and take that out. Jatron not able to find the pinch that he's looking for. It does bounce all the way across. Dissension on the ball again. He's going to slow things down a little bit, but Rogue not going to be faked out by it. It's a good challenge. Pugs trying to get a shot, but it gets deflected as we exit the first half of this game and enter the second half. We have somebody on the board. Rogue coming in, starting things off for the Minotaurs.
No, you know, I thought Pugs had that life read. Like, he had the read. Rogue put it right on his car, but just a little too powerful. And the Minotaurs still first blood in this one.
Yes, they certainly do. And you know they got to feel good about that one. as it took almost 2.5 minutes to find the back of the net. Dissension trying to come in for the double, for the read off Rogue, but not able to get to it. Rogue gonna try and get that one out.
Oh,
Jatron
Rogue,
passing
buddy.
up to him. Oh my goodness, what a play from Minotaurs.
You know, Psycho, I was talking about it earlier, that playoff Rogue buff, and it is here in full effect. The man has all the shots for the Minotaurs, and the only two goals in this game won. The man is ready for this. He is ready for grand finals. And, you know, it's looking like, at least in game one, he's going to take his team there.
Yeah, he's definitely ready. And I was talking to him a little bit before the match, and he was telling me he was a little bit worried because they didn't have Wheels. He was a little bit, you know, he's still confident in his ability and in his team, but I know Wheels is a big part of the dynamic for him. But it seems like he is stepping up and filling in where that's messing up, where they're missing out. Excuse me. Jatron doing a fantastic job of feeding the ball to Rogue, Snazzy as well. Both of them on the play. All three of their players on at least a goal so far. Minotaurs doing really well in game number one. Will Vipers be able to come back from this 2-point deficit, or will Minotaurs close this out? Dissension sends it out from the corner. Dissension trying to stick with the Snazzy, gonna block him. And Lore taking it up the sidewall. Rogue gets the touch. Pugs is there. Pugs in the defensive zone, gonna take control of the ball in the midfield. Pugs looking to set up a pass, but Snazzy gonna smash it away from him. With a, as we wind down and get closer and closer to the 60 seconds. This Minotaur roster is looking real good right now, Jaegers. They're holding the fort down.
They really are. Rogue putting another one on, but saved away by Dissensions. And, I mean, it's not that the Vipers aren't getting shots. They're out shooting the Minotaurs. But they're just not disrupting that Minotaur defense. Minotaurs have 5 saves. So accuracy is obviously not an issue for the Vipers, but they just need to find ways to disrupt this Minotaur's defense and put the ball in the back of the net, because, like, pressure-wise, it looks extremely even.
Yes, it certainly does. But and this is a perfect case of quality over quantity, as you pointed out there, Jaegers. The Vipers are out shooting the Minotaurs, but the Minotaurs have strong defense and they're scoring the goals that matter, which has won them game number one here, as we just need the ball to touch the ground. There you have it, Minotaurs, your winners, moving into game number 2. They now have the advantage in the series.
Yeah, but Psycho, Minotaurs might have the advantage, but I mean, this has the looks of a long series. Vipers, if they can keep up the pressure, find some shots on target, find some goals in the back of the net, and I mean, that could have easily very well been a Vipers victory game 1. I'm honestly looking for Pugs and Lore to step it up. I mean, Dissensions did have a few shots. He had some pressure. He had the saves. But Pugs, if I'm not mistaken, he's their highest MMR player right now. And I mean, this Vipers team's really relying on him for their offensive capabilities.
Yeah, I do believe you're correct about that. Not only that, but he's also their captain. And in my experience from the times that I was able to face off against the Vipers during this season, Pugs was, I mean, well, before or after, I should say, after they lost Josh and Adala, Pugs became the most dangerous person on that roster. And it really showed in a lot of the games that I saw him playing. And he was always spearheading the charge for his team offensively. And he was putting in work. So I agree with you, Jaegers. I think we need to see a lot more from Pugs here in game number 2.
Absolutely. And I mean, that was a good kickoff by him. Nothing coming of it to start. But look for the Vipers to settle down in this one, maybe calm their nerves a bit. Pull out a few demo plays, maybe. Open up that defensive backline by the Minotaurs. And nice pass from Dissensions, but Rogue just gonna decimate Pugs, not letting him get a shot on target there.
Rogue almost able to read that touch off of Lore, but doesn't go. Lore trying to get it out. The Minotaurs putting on the pressure. not allowing
Oh
Vipers
my.
to clear anything. J-Tron with the big demo
My goodness,
on the
Rogue.
defensive line opens things up, and Rogue gonna put it in. 420 goal, by the way.
Nice. I mean, Rogue is the only one that scored this series. Like, the man has showed up. I made a joke to Mearly. I was in a voice channel with him right before this game, and I just noticed Rogue had literally just hopped on Rocket League. I was like, man, I guess he's just gonna throw this one away. But I mean, I guess he was playing on a Smurf or something beforehand, putting in the hours, putting in the reps, maybe warming up the mechanics. Hold that thought. Dissension's gonna put one in the back of the net and tie up this game.
Yeah, and a little panic there in the Minotaurs defensive zone. Rogue comes in and gets a team bump on J-Tron after J-Tron pulled off that block there, which unfortunately unfortunately for the Minotaurs, led to Vipers being able to convert that one. Now we have a tied ball game, ladies and gentlemen, with just under 4 minutes left on the clock. We'll see how this game continues to develop. This Pugs is going to send that one away. J-Tron trying to get a shot on net. Not going to go. The ball getting sent all the way back to Rogue, making it just in time. I didn't think that he was going to get that, but holy moly, Jaegers. He really pulled through.
Oh my goodness, I thought the Boost Monster had claimed another victim, and it almost did. Oh my goodness, Dissension's a centimeter away from putting a second one in the back of the net, but unable to get the touch, and instead the Minotaurs are on offense here.
And J-Tron almost able to get that one through the defense, setting Rogue up, but it's just not going to go. Vipers hold out strong. Dissension's up, gets the touch defensively, sends it down. J-Tron in the midfield, gets a big bump on Pugs, trying to open up the lane for his team. J-Tron just all over that ball, trying to maintain the Minotaurs' offensive pressure as best as he can. Snazzy going to come in, get the touch. Rogue is there as well, and we're seeing the Minotaurs just really put on the heat right now, Jaegers.
Yeah, no, it just looks like the Minotaurs are boost starving them. I know Rogue took their right boost. J-Tron just stole that left boost.
Oh my!
The shot on target, and a little bit of shenanigans by Snazzy, and the Minotaurs are now up 2-1.
Yeah, the demos are just amazing for the Minotaurs right now. Snazzy completely clears out the defender, giving his boy J-Tron an easy goal to score. J-Tron getting on the board here in game number 2. You know it's got to feel good. I think he's usually a sub for him, but he is really, really showing up to play here tonight, Jaegers.
No, J-Tron is looking like a very pivotal player. Second on the leaderboard for the Minotaurs.
Oh,
almost putting another one on target. And, I mean, this Minotaur team, oh my gosh, they're freestyling Psycho. Snazzy trying to pass a pre-jumping Rogue. And, I mean, this Minotaurs team just looks like they're in a casual match to where they're pulling off some of these mechanics.
that's very true, but with 2 minutes left on the clock, they might not want to get too loose, as the Vipers still have plenty of time, and they're only down by one. Correction.
That one more, Psycho.
They are down by 2 points. Rogue gonna come in and find what a great pass play from the Minotaurs. Snazzy to J-Tron to Rogue. Wow.
I mean, that's the kind of chemistry you want to see. And I mean, if you told me J-Tron was a sub, I want to believe you just by the way he's playing right now. Now, the man is popping off. And, I mean, this Minotaur's offense just has all the pressure right now, Psycho.
Yes, they certainly do. And, I mean, J-Tron might not be at the top of the Minotaurs scoreboard, but he is certainly putting in a lot of work for his team here in game number 2, and has been a big part of why they are currently winning. Dissension trying to find Pugs in the midfield. Not going to go. Minotaurs hold out strong defensively. Dissension taking it up in the corner. Snazzy's there with the shot, but Pugs there. Going to make the save. Lure to put one over the defense. Rogue back in time. Maintains good defense. J-Tron trying to get it out. Dissension to keep the pressure alive for Vipers. Lure was up, but Rogue was as well. And doesn't go for the Vipers. Lore getting the dink, popping it up, looking for Pugs. Pugs is there, trying to get it underneath Jatron, but Jatron is just a brick wall for his team right now, and a demolisher as well. The man's just getting demo after demo. He seems unstoppable at this point. In the final 30 seconds, will the Vipers bring this back? Will they reel this game in, or will the Minotaurs go up by 2 in this best-of-7 series?
No, Psycho. I do think the Minotaurs just have way too much momentum here, and the Vipers unable to get anything going. I really think they need to take a time out here to stop this Minotaur momentum, just because of how well the Minotaurs are playing right now.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm going to be extremely surprised if the Vipers don't take their tactical timeout right here, right now. Minotaurs are on a tear, and they are looking unstoppable right now.
No, they really are. And I mean, we have seen teams earlier these playoffs not take timeouts when they probably should have, and it's always bitten them in the back. Um, so no call for a timeout yet. I am just wondering if they are going to play on.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out that way. If I'm remembering correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Jaegers, but I'm pretty sure I remember Bagel saying that he's and he's a Titan League player. For those of you who might not know, he's up there. He's in the 1900s, 2000 range. He's a really good player, and he says he doesn't like taking the timeout. It's not part of his thing. It throws his game off. He likes to just get back into the game as quickly as possible. So different people view differently, and as we can see here, the Vipers kind of feel on the side of Bagels there, that do not take their time out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just want to get back into it because you believe you can win this next game. And I mean, the Vipers have been keeping up with the Minotaurs in terms of offense. They've been putting shots. They just haven't been putting them in the back of the net. Lord does so there, and what a way to kick off this game number 3. Maybe they didn't need the timeout after all, Psycho.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just needed to get back into the game, and the Vipers getting exactly what they need. They needed a quick goal. They needed an early goal. They needed the lead. Now they can start to dictate the pace of this game. And in game number 3, that's exactly what they needed. It would have been devastating, Jaegers, for them to have gone down 3-0 against this Minotaurs roster.
Absolutely. And I mean, you don't want to go down in this pivotal game 3. Good on the Vipers to start out fast in this one. And Rogue dribbles past one, and he gets a dribble goal himself.
Hold the phone. Rogue gonna take advantage of an entire field solo play. Jatron with a great pass, heads up look from him to get it to his teammate. And now Minotaurs are back in this. 30 seconds gone, and we've already got 2 goals, Jaegers. I think this might be a pretty high scoring affair.
Hopefully so. Hopefully it doesn't fizzle out after the first minute. But I mean, just based on it, these are 2 very high-powered offenses. And look to him to get a few more there. Jatron makes a very pivotal save. And quite possibly save the Minotaurs from going down a goal.
Yeah, I think that is 100% true. Jatron clutching up on the defensive line right there, as he has been this entire season. That man has been clutch, and he's been doing a lot for the Minotaurs. We'll see if he can continue to do just that, as we are now tied at 1. Jatron getting the banger out of his defensive zone. Lore back for it.
Ooh,
or with the fake, but oh no, the bump. But it doesn't really work out for the Minotaurs there, Jaegers.
Yeah, no, and Minotaurs right now are playing pretty dirty, pulling out the bumps. You love to see it. But like, I don't know. I mean, I need the Vipers to pull something out. Like, they got a goal early, but overall, their offense have just been uninspiring. They've been getting shots, but they need to clear open the back line if they want to put some past this Minotaur defense, because right now what they're doing clearly isn't working.
Yeah, I mean, you need it, I need it, Jaegers.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's not what I need. That's not what I need, Jaegers.
And I mean,
I don't even know what to say.
Jtron just gonna get the 50. Oh, wait. Jtron got the 50, and no Minotaur player touched the ball since then. Lord just gets pull shot into the ball, and the third man just rotates too far up, and that's all she wrote. And now the Vipers down 2-1.
The double commit from the Minotaurs. Will the Vipers be able to mount a counter attack? Jtron's going to clear that one out. Jtron with the clear, putting it on net, but Puggles getting in front of it at the last second. Pugs again with the touch. Drops down. Dissension's going to miss his touch. Pug's going to help him out. Up to Lore. Back out to Puggles, who isn't able to get the touch. Rogue and Jtron on the same ball. Pug's going to take it away from him. Trying to get it out to the mid. Dissension was up in case he did. But the Minotaurs defense stayed strong. Kept the ball out from in front of their net. This Pug's going to just try and get a touch from the backside. What a pass from Snazzy, and a good shot that just not going to go. It's going to be a little bit wide. This Pug's is going to send it down and leave it for Dissensions. Dissensions just going to throw that ball away in the midfield. Snazzy going to leave it for Lore. Lore gets a good 50. Jtron sending it down. Snazzy.
Oh, what a shot by Snazzy.
Holy rocket balls, Batman.
No, Psycho, this Minotaur offense is just rolling right now. A pass from Jtron to Snazzy. Snazzy puts it top shelf. And now the Minotaurs are up 2 goals. Psycho, this Snazzy player, he's been known to pop off in players before. Back in Season 5, he did have the Game 7 winner in OT against the Wyverns, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you could probably find the clip in somewhere Nemesis. It's a very good clip, but the Ascensions just got dribble past the entire defense and put another dribble goal in the back of the net.
Yeah, speaking of clips, asking you shall receive. Dissension's going to break off a couple of ankles there, send some people to the clinic, and score a goal. Now Vipers may very well be back in this with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. They are only down by 1. Lore sending it out to the mid, but Jtron getting there in time, getting the clear, trying to follow off the sidewall. He's going to follow it. The mistouch coming out from Lore. Jtron going to punish you every time for that one.
No, that's just an unfortunate touch by Lore on the back wall, and Jtron following too close, and he's just gonna put in the back of the net. 500 points in this one for Jtron so far.
Looking good, my dude, looking good. All 3 of these players, to be honest with you, on the Minotaurs are just having fantastic nights. Jtron not done. Jtron gets the hat trick for himself.
Psycho, Jtron has 100% goal participation. 3 goals, 2 assists, excuse me, and one save to boot. What a performance in this really pivotal game 3 by Jtron.
Yeah, and I think he's up to like 90 demos too throughout the series. I mean, the man has just been popping off. You love to see it. Somebody who I'm not gonna say makes their debut, because I'm pretty sure he's played some of the matches throughout the regular season. And I said earlier, Jaegers, that I thought he was the sub, and I could be wrong about that. Lore gonna fire back. Now Vipers only down by 2 with 30 seconds left on the clock. It's hard to say, Jaegers, if this is possible for them to make a comeback.
I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, Psycho, but 2 goals in 30 seconds is a very difficult ask for any team, especially one going against this high-powered Minotaurs offense. But, I mean, if any team can do it, it'd be the Vipers.
That's very true. We'll see if they are able to, in fact, do that, or if Minotaurs are going to secure the bag in game number 3 and be sitting at match point looking at a sweep. And there you have it. Snazzy going to get the long ball, and what an easy goal for him as the triple commit comes out on the Vipers.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much the Vipers could do there. They kind of did have to send the house. And, I mean, just Snazzy just gets a fortunate goal there to further cement this Game 3 victory.
With 10 seconds left, it is all but cemented at this point. as the Vipers are looking to just keep the Minotaurs out of the back of their net so this game can come to an end and they can try their best to regain. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Moving into game number 4, Minotaurs sitting on match point.
No, and Pugs left the match. Could be having a car change, and I don't know. Like, if do you call the timeout here? Like, would it matter? Do you just play on? I'm not sure, Psycho.
I call the timeout personally. I call the timeout. The Minotaurs are on a tear right now. They found a groove in game 1, and they have not been able to been knocked out of the groove. And the Vipers are not playing terribly. The Vipers have been putting on a lot of pressure. They've been doing a lot of things throughout this series that are right. It's just the Minotaurs are just suffocating. The Minotaurs are just on every ball. They're challenging everything the Vipers do. They're giving the Vipers absolutely no space at all, and it's paying off for them.
No, it really is. I mean, Minotaurs just stealing their boost, going for demos, not letting the Vipers breathe. And granted, the Vipers have had a few good goals here and there. But I mean, they just can't keep letting the Minotaurs have their way on offense, like they have been. And the Minotaurs right now are just suffocating the Vipers, and they need to find some way to get through, be it a good clear, or maybe if you demos mess up the Minotaur rotations, because right now this Minotaur team is cruising.
Yeah, and the Vipers do call their timeout, so maybe, just maybe, that'll be what they need to knock these Minotaurs off of their pedestal, if you will, because they are, as you said, and we've all been saying, and they've been proven that they're the guys right now. Vipers have to do something. Vipers have to do something. The timeout is the first step. The second step is winning game number 4, and then the third step for the Vipers is pulling off the reverse sweep, because that is the only thing that they have left. It's a do or die moment for them Jaegers. They either do it here or they go home.
Absolutely. And you know, Psycho, we've already seen our game 7 reverse sweep this season in the Hydra versus Arrival series, but I'm not sure if this Vipers team has the same firepower as the Hydras. Rogue put one on target, but Pugs makes it back. But Psycho, I do know one thing: if the Vipers want to have a chance, if they want to fight back, make this a 7-game series, Puggles needs to step it up, and he needs to start putting goals in the back of the net.
And not only that, but the Vipers just in general need to get a little bit more accurate. They seem to be missing some touches, and a couple of the touches that they've whiffed on have been, very detrimental to them. And just like that, Rogue gonna come in, start things off. 35 seconds gone, and he's already finding the back of the net.
You know, Psycho, I'm getting flashbacks from season 5 whenever Rogue ended my season. The man pops off in the playoffs, and he wasn't there for a lot of the games, the Minotaurs. I believe he had a broken computer, which could be another reason why they were such a low seed. Because, I mean, Rogue could have played in Challenger this season and done all right. Like, the man is just on another level.
Wow.
Snazzy gonna get a nice dunk there, and I mean, it's just not looking good for the Vipers in this game 4.
That is not. What a touch from Snazzy right there. You called it out earlier in the series, Jaegers. You said this man's got pretty big pop-off potential, and golly, you were right. That man just got, it wasn't even, I don't even think that was a pinch. It looked like an actual double touch off of the sidewall, and it's just gonna go.
No, I mean, it had pace too. That was really impressive. Maybe a little bit calculated, because that was just because that was such a good touch. But man, what a goal by Snazzy.
Yes, sir. And now the Minotaurs up by 2. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for Vipers to make a comeback. But historically, through this series, they have not been able to do that against the Minotaurs. Will they be able to do it here in game number 4, or will the Minotaurs shut the show down? Dissension showing up for the Vipers, getting the first goal on their road to making a comeback.
And Snazzy just a little too far forward. Dissension's gonna put the perfect placement, back right corner. And I mean, just what a shot by Dissensions. Like, if that's how you get back into a game, that's how you want to do it. Puggles puts another shot, but Rogue hits it away. And finally, it looks like the Vipers are pulling off a little bit of shenanigans, demoing the back line, and maybe opening up some scoring lanes. Rogues makes it back in time, however.
The double commit is forced out of the Minotaurs. Pugs gets a shot and then immediately gets a demo. However, the Vipers are not able to convert off of the push. J-Tron trying to slow things down, but Pugs to take it away from him. I just realized, Jaegers, that Pug switched to the Jurassic Park Jeep. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever seen anybody in Nemesis use that card, especially during the playoffs.
You know, Psycho is a great car. Oh my goodness, Laura has a good pass there. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Psycho. I never did cop the car. I love the goal explosion. Currently I have the titanium white one. But I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes I get cars, I mess with them for maybe a game or two, and then I switch back to the old faithful Finnick.
You know, that's pretty much the same way for me, except for my faithful is typically more so the Octane, but I do love me some Finnick. It just feels so good. And maybe that's the way Pugs feels about the Jurassic Park truck. I'm like you, I didn't cop it. I don't have it, never used it. I do love the goal explosion. The T-Rex is baller for sure. But hey, maybe that's the change that Puggles needed. You know, he's doing better so far. So we'll see if he's able to hold it out. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. Vipers are still down by 1. They do have to find at least one more goal or their season will end right now. And the Minotaurs will be secure in their spot in the grand finals against the Melons, which will be played out on Saturday. As Lore gonna try and get that one through. Rogue not gonna let him. Dissensions with the doink up to Pugs, but Rogue was there. Some great defense coming out from the Minotaurs, not allowing the Vipers to get through. The final minute is now upon us, Jaegers, and things are starting to look pretty dire for, things are not looking good for the Vipers. Snazzy with a great self-service goal.
Yeah, just a nice double tap from Snazzy. Perfect placement, bottom left corner where no Viper was. And I mean, a minute left, anything's possible, Psycho. But I mean, just the way the Minotaurs have been playing, I don't see them giving up this lead.
Yeah, certainly anything's possible. Oh my goodness! Dissensions with the flip reset pass and Puggles to finish it off.
No, Dissensions with a nice flip reset 50. And then Pugs just comes over the top, puts in the back of the net, breathing just a little bit of life back into this Vipers team. But they still have some work to do. They're down by a goal, 40 seconds left. A shot on target could be very good here, but the Minotaurs hit it away.
They certainly do, but the Vipers still on the offensive push. Will they be able to do it? Dissensions missing his touch. Snazzy with the open goal. No Lore able to get back in time. Lore getting a little bit of a team bump there, but he maintains control of the ball. Can he get the pass across? It's just going to go a little bit too hard as he had to pinch it against the defender. The final 15 seconds, J-Tron to send that one all the way down. Oh no! Devastation in the midst of the Vipers as J-Tron gets a goal off of an unfortunate touch.
I mean, whatever life the Vipers had just got snatched away from them. J-Tron had a good 50. And, I mean, just an unfortunate own goal. They were trying to hit it out. There was no one there. They had time. But they did panic a little bit. And, I mean, as a result, the Minotaurs gonna make their first ever appearance in the grand finals, going up against the 1 seed, the Melons.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to the Minotaurs securing their spot in the grand finals. Unfortunately, the Vipers going to have to walk home with their heads hanging from the loss. Their season is now over, but they played I always hate to see these types of matches, Jaegers, where the losing team gets swept, but you don't feel like they played bad. I mean, the Vipers pretty much outshot the Minotaurs most of those games. So it's, that's really disheartening thing to see whenever a team plays really well but still just gets beat down.
No, it definitely is, especially if most of the games are close. I mean, the two latter games weren't that close, but still, the Vipers did like outshoot them. Um, I mean, the Minotaurs just converted more goals. At the end of the day, that's all you need to do.
That is, in fact, all you need to do, and that is exactly what they did. Minotaurs looking so good out there. So just securing that one. I just can't say how much, all three of those players, really, Jaegers, they all did really well at different intervals during the match. I mean, Rogue popping off in game number one, Jatron popping off in game number three, and Snazzy just was filtered in there throughout all of the matches, just doing his thing. It was like he'd be quiet for 2 minutes and then he just gets an amazing touch or clears out the net for his teammate, opening up for a goal. It was just it was nice to watch that the Minotaurs play really well together. I think the Melons are gonna have a pretty tough time with them.
I think they are this Mel's team. I mean, it's gonna just be a really good one, Psycho. Melons versus Minotaurs, and Psycho. I heard you might not be able to be there for the grand final, so let's get your prediction now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be there. I got my child's birthday's going down on Saturday, so family first. But Minotaurs, Melons, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But I'm gonna have to go with the Minotaurs. I think the Minotaurs are gonna take it in six, and it's not because I don't think that the Melons can win. It's because I want the Melons to lose every season.
I fully respect that, Psycho. That's like not based on what we believe, but what we want. I
What we
respect
want.
that. I respect that. A man who knows what he wants.
Hey, and all jokes aside, due respect to the Melons, they've had a fantastic season, and if they're able to take it off the Minotaurs, hey, they deserve it. But if they get beat by the Minotaurs were seventh seed Jaegers. I'm gonna make fun of them a little bit.
I mean, you have to. You have to. We all knows how bad it is when one seeds lose. Um, So yeah, no, I mean that being said, do you have anything else for us, Psycho? Or I mean, next up we got grand finals on Saturday. Y'all don't want to miss that.
No, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Yeah, aside from thanking you for joining me here in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Thank everybody for coming out tonight and sharing this wonderful, wonderful experience with me and Jaegers. And a quick shout out to DAP308 who with the resubscribe for 9 months. Big ups to him and big ups to the Minotaurs. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to cast any matches on Saturday. I'm super sad about that, but I'm super happy that we're going to have the matches. They're going to be fantastic. That's going to be Rocket League content you don't want to miss. Top tier Nemesis League action in your face.